Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. This video has been highly requested, so I finally got myself up off of my lazy butt and decided to film it. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 fermented foods recipes with you all. We're going to be making a garlicky turmeric and black pepper sauerkraut, a beet and red cabbage kraut, and some fermented ginger carrots. Now before I get into the recipes, I do want to give a few disclaimers, so please don't do the thing where you just scroll in the bottom bar until you see my face disappear, because I know some of you do that. But I'm going to be quick, so let's go. 1. Sauerkraut is a fermented food, so in the process of making it, we're going to be making healthy bacteria. Now this bacteria will not kill you, but if you choose to follow my instructions incorrectly, you may make bacteria that will kill you. Now I can't say for certain, and personally I have survived all of my sauerkraut making attempts, but just please be careful and follow the instructions. Yeah. 2. Along those lines, when you're making sauerkraut, it's really important that all of your materials are as clean as possible. So even if those mason jars just look a little bit dusty, it's a good idea to clean them. 3. I know some people try to avoid, reduce, or maybe even eliminate the amount of salt in their diet, but if you choose to make this recipe, do not try to reduce the salt. The salt in these foods keeps them from spoiling and not going rotten or rancid, so if you choose to eliminate it, refer back to tip 1. 4. Finally, I'm going to put the complete recipes and instructions in the description of this video, so please check that out before you try to make these recipes, as I'm sure I'm going to include even more tips in there that I am forgetting now at this present moment. Anyways, all 3 of these recipes are super delicious and I'm sure you guys are going to love them. No KRAUT about it. Okay. Let's just get on to the recipes. So for our garlicky turmeric kraut, we're going to need 1/4 of a head of green cabbage, some turmeric, garlic, black pepper, and salt. So you want your cabbage to be shredded finely, so I'm using a mandolin. This is the one I have. I will link it in the description, but all you have to do is shred the cabbage. Pretty self-explanatory. Maybe you'll make as much of a mess as me, maybe you won't. But this is the final product. And now in a large glass bowl, we're going to add the cabbage that we just shredded, plus a clove of thinly sliced garlic, 1/4 of a teaspoon of fresh black pepper, 1/2 of a teaspoon of minced fresh turmeric, and 1/2 of a tablespoon of salt. Then you're just going to massage the salt into the cabbage with your hands, and after you do it for like 2 or so minutes, you can leave it and let it sit for half an hour, and then when you come back to it, the salt will have incorporated itself more, and this makes it a lot easier to massage into the cabbage. And as you can see, it's already kind of wilted here. So next, for our red beet and cabbage sauerkraut, we're going to need some red cabbage, a beet, and salt. Shocker. So same process here. First I am shredding the cabbage on the mandolin, then I am grating the beet, and you could use gloves while you do this, but I prefer to have my hands dyed a hot pink. I don't know about you. So this is about how much shredded beet that I had after I grated it. And then again, we're going to add our red cabbage to a glass bowl, plus our shredded beet, and 1/2 of a tablespoon of kosher or pickling salt. Then you're just going to massage it in, wait half an hour, and then massage it again. And as you can see, your hand will only become more pink. Finally, for our fermented ginger carrots, you're going to need some carrots, some ginger, and some salt. So first things first, you just gotta grate your carrots like all your other veggies. And I grated 3 carrots, which made about 2.5 to 3 cups of shredded carrot. So you're just going to add this to the glass bowl, along with 1/2 of a tablespoon of minced fresh ginger and another 1/2 of a tablespoon of kosher or pickling salt. And again, you're just going to massage it and wait half an hour, then massage again. You guys know the drill by now. So now we have all 3 of our krauts, and we're ready to move on to the next step. So you're going to need 1 16-ounce mason jar for each kraut that you are making. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your wilted kraut and squeeze it really firmly with your hand to try to get all of the extra liquid out. And then once you think all of the liquid is now out, you can place your kraut into the jar. And you're going to continue this until you squeeze out all of the kraut, so you should be left with a jar of dried kraut and a bowl of liquid. Then what you're going to do is pack the kraut down as firmly as you can into the bottom of the jar and pour the liquid on top. Now, as you can see here, the liquid didn't completely cover my cabbage and I tried to push it down, but ideally you would want a higher amount of liquid above the kraut to begin with. So no worries. All you have to do is combine 1 cup of filtered water with half of a teaspoon of your kosher or pickling salt and then stir that together until it dissolves. And you can just use this liquid to top off your kraut just to make sure the actual cabbage is fully submerged. And yeah, we're just going to do the same thing with our red beet and cabbage kraut. Squeeze it up, pack it down, and pour the liquid on top. And I just wanted to show you guys here, if you have really fat fingers and can't fit in the jar, you could also use a spoon to push it down. And then finally for our shredded carrots, I feel like these had the most liquid to them, maybe because carrots are more moist than cabbage, but who knows? Either way, it's the same process. So now that our krauts are in the jars, we have to weigh them down, and for this, we're going to use some plastic bags. So you're just going to use a standard sandwich size plastic bag for this, and you want to fill it with enough water so when you hold it up you have between 2 and 3 fingers width. So we're just going to be weighing the sauerkraut down so no air comes in contact with it. So you're just going to open up your plastic bag and then sort of squish the bag into the jar and make sure it goes all the way down so you don't have any air in the jar. Then once you have it in, you can just open the bag and fold it over the rim of the glass, and then only use the rim of your mason jar to twist it on and seal it off. And yep, same thing goes for the other two. You're just going to put the bag in and seal it off. And if water starts to drip from the jar, that's okay. It's just water from the plastic bags and you can easily clean it up with a towel like I did. So now our sauerkrauts are locked and ready to go. And the next step is the easiest. You're just going to put them in a cool and dark place for 3 to 7 days, depending on how sour you like your kraut. Also, I put a plate under them just in case they decided to drip anymore, so I wouldn't be damaging the surface that I was storing them on, which you might want to do as well. Alright guys, so it has been 6 days since I put my sauerkraut away in a dark space and I decided that it was ready and I was going to take it out. By the way, I rearranged part of my room. I don't know if you noticed. Anyways, once the sauerkraut is ready, the process is super simple. You just take it out of the space you were holding it in and then remove the caps from the jars and just take out the plastic bags. And then after this, you can just store your sauerkraut in the fridge. Mine usually lasts for about a month or so. Just make sure this time you store it in the airtight container and the plastic rim has the little thing in it that will seal it. So I thought it would actually be fun to film a sort of taste test for you guys. So I have a little bowl here of all of the 3 krauts that I just made in this video and I'm gonna try them. I also have a little baby spoon so it makes it even cuter. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the turmeric and black pepper one. The cabbage is still really crunchy and it's like perfectly salted. It's not overly salty, which I really appreciate. And this one is really good because the black pepper and the garlic both have a really nice bite to them. I like mixing this one in like salads. It adds a nice textural element. Next, I'm going to try the beet and red cabbage one. And this one is a little more simple, I feel. So this one pretty much tastes like sauerkraut, but I really like the addition of beet to it because it adds like a subtle earthy sweetness to it. So it just like takes it up a notch in the sophisticated kraut levels. Finally, I'm going to try the ginger fermented carrots. I know that one technically isn't like a kraut, but that one's probably my favorite. You guys know that I love ginger and I think it goes really well with the carrots, and then when you ferment the food it makes it sort of sour, so it's like, it almost reminds me of the pickled ginger that you get with sushi, but has like a nice carroty taste to it too. I love putting this one in like sushi bowls or even in sushi. I feel like it just adds a really cool flavor to it. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching and thank you for being patient with me in putting this video out. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed it and that you try some of these recipes. Making your own sauerkraut is super easy and it's definitely way cheaper to make it yourself than to go buy it in the store. If you have any other video suggestions for me, please let me know in the comments below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel already, be sure to hit that little red button right down there so you can see my newest video updates. I post once every week. I will see you in the next video. Bye!
use this mandolin, I cut myself.